It's important to be still. I got to the place where I wasn't sure exactly how to be still anymore. You ever get to that place? It's like I'm running, running, running. I've got so many things pulling at me that I don't know how to just sit down and be still for a few moments. It's kind of been stolen from us. We have to fight for that. We have to make sure. And I'm not talking about that being all your life, because I'm going to talk to you about excellence today. But part of your life needs to be, you've got 8 hours to sleep, you got 8 hours to work, and you got 8 hours to do something else. You've got to manage your time. You can either spend your time or you can invest it. But it is important that you be deliberate with it. There's nothing wrong. Somebody said, I don't want to play a video game. I don't want to watch a movie. There's nothing wrong with any of that, provided it's kind of like your money. Nothing wrong with you spending money on things, provided that was built into your budget. That was built into I'm doing that on purpose. I intended to spend this much time doing this. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with going on a vacation. Nothing wrong with just taking an evening and just saying, I'm not going to do anything this evening. Nothing wrong with that, provided it's within your schedule. But one thing I want to talk to you about is excellence. Excellence, because I think that that's a major, major part of your life, much more, that should be a part of your life much more than you realize. But excellence doesn't come easy, does it? God's calling you to something more. And let me just tell you something. If you miss this, if you don't understand this, you'll always keep the watermark of your life will always be down here. And it's uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Development, growth is easy, but development is hard. You just grow naturally. But development, I was playing the piano sometime back, and sometimes you can really get caught into an easy spot to where you're just playing what you know. I'm going through the motions of what I know. I'm not stretching myself, developing. Well, this last Christmas, I was going to play a Christmas piece, and was going to have one of the guys play a violin, another one play bass. And it was a song that I had not played. Now, it was extremely simple. It really was. But I had not played it. I hadn't played, that much for a little while. So I sat down and I started playing, and I stumbled through it. And the next day I worked and stumbled through it. And I did that literally for a week. I applied myself, and it wasn't all, it's kind of like writing a book. They say, they say, when you're finished with a book when it becomes a mistress that you hate. I mean, you spend so much time focused in that you're thinking, I need some space. Well, the same with this song. I stayed with it, and I did it over and over and over and over and over. I could do it in my sleep. I did it over because I knew I was going to be on stage performing it. And I worked on it, and I noticed something when I got up, and of course I performed it, and it went fine. There was not a flaw. I actually didn't mess up, did not hit any wrong keys. But I noticed something happened. I noticed that my playing was different. Now, the song wasn't so complicated, but when I really focused and gave time to it, and cultivated it, it affected me more than I realized. Matter of fact, one of the guys, we got a Rick in our church. He is an exceptionally good jazz guitarist. But he listened to me, and then he said, boy, you've really been practicing, I can tell. He said, it really sounds amazing. And, I couldn't tell that much, but people around me could tell. And it was like my effort brought my performance up to another level. Well, it cost me something. I had to focus on that. And I really feel like there's so much that we don't understand about this. And as a result, we stay in this mediocre state to where we just play the same song, second verse. Nothing ever changes. We never get any better. We never sharpen our edge. In 6 months, we're doing the exact same thing that we're doing now, and we never move up. And I'm going to tell you that excellence is something you've got to strive for because it doesn't come easy. You got to work for it. You got to practice it. You got to want it. I mean, when we feel we reach for that, many times we fall short of this treasure that is within us, but we don't know how to bring that excellence out. See, there's excellence for you, but it costs you to go there. Let me ask you this question real quickly. Do you feel stuck? That's kind of how I was with the piano. Do you feel in your life like, man, I've just been doing the same thing day after day after day? Can I just tell you, for you to go to the next level of whatever it is, it costs you something. And if you don't reach for it, here's what's going to happen. You will fall into a stupor, almost a slumber in your life, and you will settle. And you'll call that settling normal, when it's not normal at all. What it is just a place that you stopped striving. See, when we strive for something, and even the word strive means that I'm pushing past barriers. I'm pushing past hardships. So there's so many hardships that's in front of you. Now, I'm not saying I don't say that to discourage you. Hey, listen, it's a hurdle. The difference between a stepping stone and a stumbling stone is how high you lift your feet. But when we stop striving to push past, some of you that have lifted weights, you've been weightlifters. You know, they had that phrase, no pain, no gain. Well, I don't like the pain. But quite frankly, if I don't intentionally strive to break past that barrier, it'll never move me to the next level. And that's that way in everything that has to do with you right now. This is what I really felt to talk to you about, is the fact that there's another level of life for you, but you're going to have to want it. You're going to have to strive for it. You're going to have to sacrifice for it. Matter of fact, you might even have to no pain, no gain kind of thing. You're going to have to want that, because if you don't want it and strive for it, like for instance, what I said, you'll get to the place that you just fall into this stupor and settle. And you know what? It will reflect in how you keep your car, your automobile. It'll reflect in what your house looks like. It'll reflect in your clothing. Just your general physical appearance is going to be affected by that slumber that you fall into. You know, you need to constantly be breaking past that mindset of saying, well, this is just good enough. I think that's a couple of words that should be an enemy to us. Well, that's pretty good. That's good enough. It's almost like we don't see master craftsmen in our life anymore. I remember back a couple of years ago, I went to a concert, and I went and seen, it was a trumpet player. His name was Chris Bodie. Wow. I'm just going to tell you something. I think he's the greatest trumpet player ever. I've never seen what this guy did. It was he was a master. And when you become a master, people will pay money just to watch you. But you don't find that very often. We look at old houses that used to be built, and they were built by master craftsmen. Now people just throw them up there. Dear Lord, a monkey could build those houses. I mean, because they're just thrown together, fabricated. But when you find someone that is a master craftsman, I'm telling you, you'll pay the price. And when I went to see Chris Bodie's concert, I was so blown away. I just kind of sat there with my mouth dropped open. I would have paid twice as much, 3 times as much just to go watch him. And I heard him say something that, you talk about wanting to play like that and wanting to do like that. And he says it's Practice, 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 practice. I mean, he just went on and on about practice, but that's true. Are you ready to go to the next level? Come on, it's going to cost you something. And if you go, it will affect how you keep your car. It'll affect how you keep your house. I mean, your house gets to the place that looks like Sanford and Son. You've settled. I'm just telling you something. When your car looks like a McDonald's trash can, you've settled. Well, we'll pick that up later. It don't matter. No, I'm telling you, there is a level of excellence that should be in your heart. Something, but it's going to cost you. You're going to have to break past that slumber to get there. But see, God is excellent. Everything that God does is top shelf. You're not going to find any, it's pretty good. Now, let me tell you something. When God created, he said, it's good. It's good. I look at something like Solomon's house. Have you ever done any research on that? You ought to look it up. I'm just telling you something. The excellence and the majesty of every little tiny detail that was in his house. I think of the Proverbs 31 woman, the excellence of this woman, what she did with her house and what she did with their business and what she did in considering this and buying that and purchasing. And there was an excellence about her that was very special. And I'm telling you, if you will pursue excellence, it'll get to where you'll see it reflected in your house and in your car and in your clothes and in the way you carry yourself, in your conversation, in your writing, in your everything will come up. It's like all the boats rise with the tide. When you push yourself past a barrier that has held you, everything comes up. However, I will say that when you settle, when you get still and you settle, it's like a boat that suddenly all the barnacles begin to attach itself. Mildew begins to set up. It affects everything about you. Literally, when you settle, when you stop pursuing excellence, everything about you begins to, the color disappears, the passion disappears, the excellence disappears. But God is calling you to be a better steward over your time, your talent, your energy, the resources that he brought you. You know, somebody says, God provided and gave me a car, but yet we don't treat it with the excellence as though I was going to go pick the Lord up and take him for a ride. I'm serious. Would you invite the Lord into your home? Would you invite the Queen of England to come to your house and have dinner? Well, I just don't know that you know what I'm saying? We don't realize that we've settled until we're put in that kind of a position that exposes our condition, our settling. And we look around and we think, oh my God. You know, so I want to just say, it is going to cost you to go there. But as a believer, especially someone says, I'm a Christian, I've been born again. I believe that should be reflected in everything about you. It should be reflected not just in what you say and the fact that you believe you're going to heaven. It should be reflected also in how you carry yourself. You become an example. Now, you're not saved by those things, but suddenly I'm now not operating at the level that I was. And when you make the decision to press past the pain, again, back to the those that are bodybuilders, when they push past the pain, there comes a time. I mean, I don't feel like doing that many bench presses. You know, I'm sorry, my legs aren't built for strength like that, and for me to do squats like that, oh my God, that hurt. I'm not going to do anymore. And so the thing is they never move past where they are. You got to push that past the pain. You got to push past the discomfort. You got to make yourself sit there. And if you're going to do a craft, make the decision that I'm going to become a master craftsman with that. I'm going to become excellent with it. I'm going to. It's very difficult. The technology. I work with like Adobe Premiere, Adobe Audition, and it's not that they're the most complicated, but they're very complicated programs. And I'm just going to tell you right now, my brain went into a cramp. I mean, times when I just simply got up and walked off because I couldn't do it. I'd go to YouTube and I'd listen and I'd watch. I'd try to get it through and couldn't do it. I mean, it was painful for me to get to where I understood. I'm not saying that I've reached this pinnacle, but I broke past a barrier for even what I'm doing right now. I've learned so much, and it was painful learning, but it was worth it, and it's affected me in a lot of areas. Now, here's what I'm saying to you. Come on up to the next level. There's another level in your life. I don't care if it is with art. Can I just give you another example? Now, I've been a artist for a number of years, and I've drawn a lot of stuff that I was proud of. I would do portraits, and they were pretty good. They were better than most. But one day I said, there's another level. I couldn't see it on the outside, but I could see it on the inside. I said, there's another level in the art. It was almost like I was reaching for a photorealism. And I knew it was there, but it was like and so I studied and I practiced and I studied, and it was difficult on me, but I pushed past it. And one day I broke into a picture that I was drawing as a picture of, I forget even which one it was because I've done a number of them since. And suddenly I was drawing the pores of the skin. I was drawing details that I'd never seen before. I was drawing before, but I couldn't see those details. And so I was just living my life on that level. Once I broke past it, I looked back to my other stuff that I was so proud of before, and I thought, dang, I don't want anybody to see that. I mean, it was like I was drawing, by comparison, it was like I was drawing mannequins back then. Just slick facial drawings with no definition. And when I compared it, so when I look back at where I used to be, like I said, it's like I don't even want anybody to see this. Isn't that crazy? But I pushed past it. I pushed past it. I drew a picture of President Trump. And a lot of you saw that, and I had so many wonderful, kind compliments about it. But even the pictures that you've seen of it really didn't do it justice as to when you saw it in person, because in person you could really see the details of the face, the fine definitions. But I didn't see that before. It was like I was drawing, but I didn't see that, so I never went there. And so I guess that's what I'm saying, is the fact that a lot of things you're doing now has become so common to you that you just think that's normal and you don't see the next level. But there's another level for you in your business, in your life, in your relationships with each other. There's another level of relationship with God. There's another level in your craft. And I really believe that you should strive to be a master craftsman in what you do. Don't be pretty good. Learn to focus on something until you master it, until you become a master. Now that's going to cost you. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some talent, but it's going to take some energy and some commitment. But I promise, if you will go there, if you'll push past this cloud of slumber that you find yourself in, you'll find that it will affect every area of your life, everything about you. And you'll get to the place that your yard will look immaculate. Your car will be immaculate. I'm not saying perfect. I've seen some people, they were like potty trained at gunpoint, and I'm thinking, I don't even want to talk to them, but they're obsessed with it. I'm not talking about being crazy and obsessed, but your possessions will become immaculate. Your clothes, the way you carry yourself, what you do with yourself, suddenly it brings everything up to another level. I really believe that's important for you. I really do. If you'll hear my heart, I think it'll make a difference, okay? All right. That's what I got for you today. And I've got some more things over this next few days. I think it's going to really be a blessing, but I think this is important for today. Please push like, push share, and subscribe. And I would certainly appreciate that. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the relationship. It means an awful lot to me. Thank you for your friendship. I try to say it every time, but I truly mean this. Thank you for being my friend. That's a treasure that I value very much. Okay? I'm out of here. Love you guys. Set the bar of excellence high for yourself. Set it so high that you trip a couple of times. It'll surprise you what you can reach when you make yourself go that far. All right. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.